no opportunity for children to learn on their own, because it's teacher doing one activity after another. Let's make a shift, put the control in the hands of the children so that they start learning themselves, because they also know how to learn, right? Making meaning is becoming very, very important. Let's not teach ABCD without giving them a sense of what is ABCD. Years after years, starting from my age in the nursery class, we have learned ABCD without having a clue of what ABCD is. From parents to children to teachers. Let's put it in a meaningful context and give them more contextualized learning. Challenge of health, nutrition and care, especially since the COVID, this has become a major priority, which was always there. We have COVID also, post-COVID, but we also have a very high percentage of malnourished children in the country. And malnourishment can lead to very severe learning issues. Career options in the future are not predictable. So we are not really setting the stage for children to go and become engineers, doctors and CAs anymore. There is a world of opportunity out there. So there is so much of an opportunity to be flexible and allow them to bloom in different ways. And that is what we need to encourage. Last of all, parenting, especially after COVID, is emerging as a very important asset. It should be seen as an asset. Can I have a glass? Parenting is very important, and I think previous speakers talked about the need to involve parents much more actively as partners in this whole process of education, rather than just have them be the consumers of it. So this is what is the requirement for the 21st century. But what is happening in today's classrooms continues to be something of a problem. Number one, English is now the national policy is saying that the medium of instruction should be the language which is most familiar to children. In a classroom, the language that most children are familiar with should be the medium of instruction. But we are, I'm not talking about Salwan school, I'm talking generally. We are persisting with the social priority that is there in our country, thrust on English as a medium of instruction. Children, as a result, as I said, are learning more by rote than by understanding and cramming. And our assessment system continues to be in many schools the same. Ask for a definition, give the textbook definition, otherwise you get a zero. So those kind of things are still continuing. Teacher's role continues to be very didactic. Conventional learning of the alphabet and numbers skills are privileged over creativity, critical thinking and conceptual understanding. Pedagogy of teaching learning is still very conventional, uniform and repetitive. And there is a need to shift to what we call the early learning curriculum and perspectives and practices. And parental status, involvement and children's learning is still getting due attention. A lot of it has got attention because of the compulsion of the online classes that we had to do because of the COVID. So parents were perforce involved. But is it continuing? Is that engagement continuing? Are they still being seen as a resource? That is the question. So what is the change required? Very quickly. A holistic approach means, if you look at, there are two elements to it, the developmental domains and the learning environment. So if you see the developmental domains on the right, we are all familiar with it, but just to get onto the common plane. Language development, this is again from the National Curriculum Framework. Language development and early literacy. So now if you see, it is so important. What is the difference? We are moving away from literacy in isolation to language development and early literacy. So the emphasis is both on oral language as well as literacy. So it's not only about learning to read or write, it's also about being comfortable in that language to be able to understand what we are reading and writing. So oral language is very important. Cognitive development and early maths, again putting mathematics or numeracy, with embedding it in cognitive skills so that a child's developmental domains are getting the due nurturance. Creativity as a third domain. Socio-emotional development, which is again getting a lot of importance, especially again, I don't understand, but still, I mean, as far as I know, early childhood education always emphasized socio-emotional development. But after COVID, I think even in primary education and secondary, I think socio-emotional has taken a lot of primacy. And physical and motor development. So these are the 5 domains that even the policy and the curriculum framework talks about. So if you see in terms of the learning environment, what is it that makes it holistic for children to be able to address these developmental domains? They need to have a very good health. So is the school's responsibility in partnership with parents to ensure the children who are coming are healthy. They have to have nutrition. Just not having nutrition is enough, but being well nourished, because malnutrition is a major issue, especially among girls, and that needs to be addressed. There has to be safety and security. We have so many instances where children are not safe in schools anymore, and that, I think, is some big challenge for, I'm sure, the principals, many of you are sitting here, to ensure that safety and security. But for the child, safety and security, not about the conditions only that are in the school, but how is the child feeling coming in? Is the experience of the child, how secure the child is, that is most critical to his child's learning. And then most importantly, the early learning opportunities for the children. What are the opportunities they are getting? Are they really engaging with those opportunities, which are going to really lead to their learning? So, and responsive care.